Business Analysis Core Concept Model, or BACCM, is a framework for business analysis. It incorporates various factors such as change, need, stakeholder, context, value, and solution. This framework will provide a common approach no matter the scope, domain, or approach that the business analyst chooses to use. No matter how thorough a business analyst is, changes will occur. So it's necessary to plan for change and communicate clearly how it will be addressed. Change requests are a formal approach to managing changes. In an adaptive approach, changes are handled less formally. No matter how a change is requested, the business analyst will analyze it to determine the impact on other requirements and the scope of the solution. The business analysis plan will include the process and identify who will authorize the requested changes. Certain needs must be considered during the planning and monitoring phase of business analysis. The approach must be appropriate for the project, considering the project's nature. It must also provide sufficient analysis given the nature of the project. For example, an adaptive approach would work well for a web-based project. The business analyst also needs to consider various context-related factors when selecting an approach. First, they must understand the context in which the change will occur. This could include both internal and external politics, as well as the business cycle. For example, if it's the end of the month, it's unlikely that finance stakeholders would be available to meet for requirements discovery. The business analyst must also ensure that the approach will work within a specific context. To ensure understanding, they could validate the context with the sponsor, subject matter experts, and project manager. Stakeholder analysis begins during initial planning and will continue throughout an initiative. During the project, the business analyst will need to consider some questions. First, are stakeholders' needs being met? Answering this often includes using iterative reviews, which could be planned for. The business analyst might confirm the information received during a requirements workshop, for example. Once those requirements are fully described, a review session will be conducted with the relevant stakeholders to ensure everything has been understood by all parties. Second, are stakeholder characteristics being accounted for? Characteristics like language, location, and organizational structure are needed to better describe the user requirements. These are often described in the quality of service section of a business requirements document. For example, a requirement might be that web content shall be displayed in French. There are some specific activities that need to be performed in terms of determining value. A performance analysis must be conducted. The business analyst must plan for how the business analysis activities will be evaluated, which metrics will be used, and how they will be gathered. The analyst will work with their manager and/or the project manager to determine which metrics are most important. In an adaptive approach, collaboration and communication skills may be measured through the use of a survey taken by stakeholders and the project team. The analyst must also ensure activities continue to provide value. Throughout the project, the business analyst should monitor business analysis results. If requirements are incorrect or late, corrective action must be taken to ensure a quality output going forward. Incomplete or incorrect requirements often result from inaction on the part of the stakeholders. If this is the case, business analysts will work with the project manager and stakeholders to remedy the situation. In terms of solutions, the business analyst evaluates overall performance and determines whether or not an implementation was successful.